Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Real Talk for Real Teens, hosted by Kim Creighton, or as she's known by the people who know her best, Mama C. The show where we uniquely combine the information teens need with the entertainment teens want.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk for Real Teens. I am Kim Creighton, your host for the evening, as always. And tonight we are talking about scholarships. And our musical artist, featured artist this evening is a group called Cable Car. So on our breaks, we'll be listening to music from Cable Car. So the title of this show is actually the college scholarship race is on, and literally that's what I mean. This race for money for whatever it is that you're looking for to pay for this college experience has started, and some of you, all of you need to get started, or you'll be behind the eight ball. And so our guest tonight is Carlton Lockard, and we're going to have this conversation. We had a conversation several months ago called Scholarship Basics, so you can think of this as part two. So welcome, Carlton, and tell my audience something about yourself.
Hey, thank you, Kim. Good evening to your audience. Obviously, if they are listening to your show, they are already well informed about a lot of important topics. So I'll say a little bit about me. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I've lived in the Atlanta area for about 20 years. I'm a father of a 15-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son. My experience in college, I attended Howard University for my undergraduate degree in broadcast journalism, and I attended Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, and that's where I attained a master's in marketing. My career path has been in the communications industry and also in business-to-business services, both in marketing and in finance. I am on the college scholarship committee at my church here in Atlanta, which is Hillside International Chapel and Truth Center, and I am also on the Howard University Alumni Association scholarship committee as well. We're giving out 5 scholarships this year for students that have been accepted to Howard, as well as some continuing students as well. And I've learned a lot through talking with other parents, as well as other folks who have volunteered to give of themselves to help young people prepare for college and prepare to earn scholarships. And anything I can do to share what I've learned, that's the only reason I learned it, is to pass it on.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, and we'll just jump right into it. So, Jessica Johnson, who I had on the show from the Scholarship Academy several months ago, and so as I said before, we talked about the scholarship basics, what kinds of scholarships, and she differentiated between, athletic scholarships, community service scholarships, and all that kind of stuff. So people, if you want to know about that kind of stuff, go back and listen to college scholarships or scholarship basics. And so after you differentiated, or now that these young people know that there are different kinds of scholarships, let's talk about the path. That's what I really want to get into in this conversation is, this race is on. Based on what Jessica says, they need to be researching now. If they're seniors, they're kind of behind. Juniors, yes. Sophomores, yes.
I agree.
So expound on that. Tell us from your point of view as a person who's on scholarship committees, as well as you have a 15-year-old daughter.
Right, and of course the ones you care about the most sometimes listen to you the least, right? that's how it works sometimes. But Kim, first thing that I want students to understand, I want middle school students to understand that they are, once they get to high school, they have 3 years to put together a good background and a good resume in terms of their academic performance and their extracurricular activities and community service, so that they can begin in the fall of their senior year to apply to get college applications and to apply for scholarships. So actually, that's the message that I send to students, is the time to prepare yourself is walking in the door to your high school, 9th grade. But we're talking, so that's it. Our audience, I think, is sophomores and above this evening, correct?
No, we have it's high school. I mean, it's
going
to be,
good,
and
good,
I know I have some people who have told me they're listening. They have young people who are in 7th and 8th grade that are listening. So
good. I'm glad to hear that. Those 7th and 8th graders, now's the time for them to begin preparation for the ACT and SAT. And definitely by your freshman year, begin to take preparation courses and prep exams. I simply say that because the data bears itself out that, unfortunately, students of color still perform below average on those exams overall. However, I've met many students of color who do extremely well on those exams, and they've done it because they prepared for it, just like anything else, any sport, any instrument, right? A speech, you prepare. What's the motto of the Boy Scouts? Always be prepared. So, with that said, what we mean there is that I've often met students who get A's and B's in class, and then I ask them, so have you taken the ACT or the SAT? Yes. How well did you do? And their test scores are middle of the road. They're not reflective of the excellence that they've shown in the classroom. And when I ask them, I say, so how do you think that is that you're able to do so well in the classroom and you're able to do below average work on your standardized test? And they say they had a late start in preparing for it. Didn't take it seriously early enough. And that's probably because they know. Yes.
And I was going to get to that. Excuse me for interrupting, because that's a note I just wrote down. Because if you're saying entering high school, that means you're talking about 7th grade, 8th grade, and you're talking about entering high school. You have 3 years, so that's freshman, sophomore, junior year. There is a big disconnect in what you're saying and what is actually what I've seen in the classrooms or young people entering high school. First of all, just by the very nature of being 14, you're way immature. And so 9th graders aren't even, 12th grade seems so far off to them that they don't even think about, they're not even contemplating that whole process. So so I want to talk about that. How do you get them get beyond just the immaturity, but just so they can start plotting that out for themselves? And also, the data also shows that so many young people, first of all, if you don't do well in 9th grade, the chances of you graduating high school are very slim. And so many of them aren't taking 9th grade seriously at all. And so that very pivotal year, they're just throwing away. I've seen it so often. They just kind of, it's like, oh, okay, it's just the 9th grade. Their parents are just like, oh, okay, it's just the 9th grade. How do we get, because what you're saying is definitely a paradigm shift from what I've experienced walking the halls of high schools.
Okay, excellent points. First of all, it's important for young people of any school age, especially the middle schoolers, since they're now entering the final stage. Understand this, is that each student must take responsibility for their education. They must take responsibility for their learning. the challenge is the emotional maturity that young people have at different stages of life, right? Adolescence, puberty, et cetera, right? So that's okay. We understand from an emotional standpoint they're inexperienced and they may be less mature. However, at every age, starting at kindergarten and first grade, you must take responsibility for your education. You're by law, right? I mean, we don't see the police enforce this as much as they should. But if a young person is between the hours of 8 and 3 are on the street and not in school during a day when there should normally be school, that's against the law. By law, they're supposed to be in school. So young people just need to understand that basic thing. Right now in life, that's all you're supposed to do when you're not at home. You're responsible to listen to your parents once you get home. But when you're at school, you during the day you have no other responsibility except being a student. So you maximize that opportunity. That's number one. So what that means is
so
even a freshman.
Right there. Okay, we're going to stop right there because we're going to take our first break, and that's where I want to pick up. So you're saying your responsibility, that first thing is the responsibility of being in school, and now we're going to talk about, when we come back, that responsibility of a freshman. So hold on, we'll be right back.
You bet.
All right, guys, we're going to listen to Cable Car's first song, Wait for Me.
Once in the schoolyard, I whispered it in your ear. I'm here now, and always will. So many promises I won't keep. A hard kiss in an empty hallway, red lips begging me to stay. Price and I'll pay. So many promises you won't keep. Life moves in and love moves out. Will you wait for me? Will you wait for me? Life moves in and love moves out. Will you wait for me?
Welcome back to Real Talk for Real Teens, hosted by Kim Creighton. To talk live on the air, call 347-539-5226.
Okay, welcome back, guys. And we're going to get right back into the conversation. So we're talking about getting freshmen or just these students ready for the reality of getting out of high school and being in a position so that they can get scholarships to pay for college if that's what they choose to do. So you talked about their first thing was their responsibility during that time is nothing but to be at school and to do the best they can, and then you were getting into the next thing.
Hi, yes, and I love what you're doing with the show. I do hope that more students get a chance to pass this link around and tune in. This is not dated information. We're talking about things that are important today. They're important tomorrow. They're going to be important 5 years from now. So again, I'm Carlton Lockard, based here in Atlanta, and I'm on a couple of different scholarship and college prep sort of committees and organizations. And I just try to help students get ready because it's so important for this rite of passage. Now, ninth graders, the point we were making earlier, you had asked, hey, the young ones at that age, they're not always thinking in terms of preparation for college and scholarships. They've just gotten to high school. It's a new experience. However, as I was starting to say, they have every student has the same responsibility. So a ninth grader may not feel like they're confident or mature as the juniors and seniors. They may not know their way around each of the classes and who the different instructors are and that sort of thing. But they know that they are responsible for getting the most they can out of this educational experience. And I'm going to now share a couple of what it boils down to is habits. I'm going to share some good habits to have as a student. Doesn't matter if you're a high school student or a college student. Good habits that will actually, once people see that you have these habits, you actually start to attract opportunities to yourself, which include scholarships. Okay, Kim? So
all right,
here we go. So here we go. Number one, it's time. But by the time you're a ninth grader, you must have good study habits. You must follow some principles and some process and a process and a system for yourself that really adds, all of which adds up to this: study first, have fun later. Nobody said you cannot have fun. No one said you can't play Xbox. You can't go to parties. You can't talk to your friends on the phone. You can't watch your favorite TV programs. No one said any of that. It's important to study first because you are a student before anything else. Until as long as you're 18 or under, 19 or under, whatever the age may be. Study first. Now, that also means put yourself in the best position to learn the most you can out of every class. You got to get the main concepts down because you in your algebra class, you're not going to have to take a trick. I'm sorry?
You're going out a little bit. So you said you have to have the main concepts, and then?
Okay, you should be able to hear me okay now. Good?
Yeah, you're fine. Go
ahead.
Okay.
So we have to understand building blocks. And we have to understand foundation and how one concept leads to the next. So that means you understand that what you learn in Spanish 1, you're not going to carry into Spanish 2. What you learn in algebra, you're going to carry into trigonometry. You're going to carry into ultimately calculus, right? So we have to So you have to understand that your job is to get all the important concepts out of that class. Now, a great way to do this, which will also set you up to get favor and consideration from your instructors, right, and will also keep you focused on maximizing the experience of each class, is first week of every class, each semester or quarter, whatever your system, whatever calendar you're on at your school, you're going to get the course outline or syllabus. You take that and you go meet with your instructor in the first week of class. Introduce yourself. Let them know that you want to make sure you understand the key concepts that you're supposed to understand by the time you walk out of that classroom and take the final exam. So let the instructor know, hey, I've gone over this outline. I have some questions, and present him or her with those questions. Now, Kim, what does that do? That tells that instructor that you're serious about that class and that you're serious about your education. Okay? Now what that also means is they're going to keep an eye out for you. They're going to watch you, and they're actually going to have a good feeling about you, and they're going to have some relatively high expectations for you. That also means that you're going to have those expectations for yourself because you know that instructor's watching you now. You're on radar.
And I want to interject because you said I wrote down what you said about favor and consideration for instructors. And the reason, young people, that's important is those same instructors are going to be the ones that you want to go to for your references and recommendations for scholarships. What I hate is someone who in the 11th hour senior year needs scholarship, and now you're going to teachers who you have given the blues to, and you expect them to write something meaningful and impactful for you?
They don't even know who you are.
That's not going to happen. Well, no, they may know who you are.
Or they remember that you're Johnny come lately.
Or you're a Johnny get a pain in my butt. That's what you are. I mean, I'm going to be just really honest because this is a really honest show. So your freshman year, you've done absolutely nothing. Sophomore year, you've done absolutely nothing. Junior year, absolutely nothing. And you've seen this teacher. They know you because they've had you in the class. They've heard their peers talking about you. And because now you're running around at the last minute because you need someone to help you with your scholarships and get you recommendations. And you're going to people who already know your work ethic sucks or, as you said, don't even know you from Adam.
Yeah, they say, let me check my records. You took this class? So what I'm saying is that puts you in the right frame of mind and also sets a tone for how you are received, right? You're taken seriously. So that means when things come up, as they often do, you get sick. There's a death in the family. You may be doing poorly with this subject, right? Now when you come to that instructor during the course of the school year, they're going to say, well, I know this. I know that he or she isn't just blowing off the topic. You know, this is. They already showed me that they're serious. So yeah, I'm gonna be understanding about this. I'm gonna work with them. That means when you're getting a B- and you want to, hey, I want to do something to make sure I end up with a B in this class. When you're getting an A- and you want to finish up with an A. When you get a C and you're trying to figure out how to get a B, you're 3/4 of the way through the class, and you come to that instructor, hey, I feel like I'm struggling here. Is there something else I can do? Right? You generated. You generated,
like they say, that goodwill. They see it, and you're building that relationship. So yes, they are more apt to help you.
You've already set yourself apart just by taking that action of being respectful and serious and sitting down with them. They're saying, wow, where'd this kid come from? Okay?
Yep.
So what that also means, yes, absolutely, is, when I say you get the benefit of the doubt, okay? And that also says, you also say, wow, I see the way this instructor treats me, the way this instructor looks at me, deals with me, so I'm going to stay on. That means you're not going to clown in the hallway, right? You're not going to be messing around in the bathroom and doing all the typical things because, folks, you've got a reputation to protect because you started it. So anyway, do that. That's part of your habit. That's part of your habit, and you do, and look what else that does, Kim. You kick that off. Now, remember, opportunities always come up. You young people, I always tell them, until you're about 25 or 30, you're going to get opportunities. And people are going to look out for you. Yeah, you're going to meet people who you wonder, why they're in your life because it seems like they're holding you back. But someone's looking out for you all the time. They're going to invite you out to dinner. They're going to say, hey, we got a couple extra tickets. They're going to say, hey, there's a great opportunity here. We'd like you to be a part of it. Well, can this help you out? That's going to happen until you're about 30 years old, as long as you present yourself as somebody trustworthy and earnest and serious about wanting to better yourself, because adults who've already been through it, we know that young people need help. So all I'm saying is keep presenting yourself as that person that folks want to have around and somebody who's not going to waste the opportunity. Okay? So once again, when you start out that way, now what happens? Somebody's going to come to the principal and say, you know what, we've got an opportunity for some students to be at this banquet that this celebrity is holding. There's a play. There's a grand opening. We've got some extra tickets for some young people, things like that. Playoffs of the Hawks or the Falcons are in the playoffs. We got our foundation has some extra tickets. Maybe you know of some deserving students. Now, they're not going to go search through the whole roster of students in that school. They're going to say the first students they're going to look for are the ones that are on their short list, and those are the ones who are taking care of business. And you present yourself as one of those students, you get those opportunities. So a lot of times when young people are looking at other kids and say, oh, they're lucky, they're the teacher's pet, they're that. No, that's going to be your boss one day. They're the ones who are taking their education seriously, and that's one of the ways, one of the key ways, one of the behaviors that help kick it off. And like I said, the other thing is make sure you study first. Now,
let's stop. Let's stop because we have to take a break. And so when we get back, we're going to get through the rest of your habits because I want to make sure we get to those so we can really talk about the things we need to do to make sure, because these are the things you need to do to get there, to make sure you're in good standing, whether it's academic, athletic, community service, scholarship. All of these things matter. So when we come back, we're going to continue your list of habits.
I'll be right here.
Okay. Songs that groove, Cable Car.
We've been going our separate ways, and I ain't got nothing left. Gonna be the last of each other. Come on, let's dance, pretty mama, yeah. Don't you tell me we don't love one another. Let's take it to the bedroom and listen to the song. One place. It must be the first time you ain't got nothing to say. So I laugh to myself, what's wrong with us? Can we get it right? Can we learn to trust for more than 3 minutes, 3 days off? No time at all. Come on, girl, come on, don't tell me that this is gonna be the last of each other. Don't you tell me we don't love one another. Let's take it to the bedroom and listen to the song.
I know you were there. I know that you wanted to do that.
on, don't tell me that this is gonna be the last of each other. Come on, let's dance, pretty mama, yeah. Don't you tell me we don't love one another. Come on, girl, come on, don't tell me that this is gonna be the last of each other. Come on, let's dance, pretty mama, yeah. Don't you tell me we don't love one another.
Follow us on Facebook at Real Talk for Real Teens and on Twitter at RTFRT Radio.
All right, welcome back, guys. Now we're going to get into the next habit. So after they've made sure they've got great study habits, they've, and the word that comes to my mind is ingratiated themselves to these instructors and the school system, what's next?
That's right. Study first, have fun later. I just want to go back to that for a moment. How many times, Kim, have we seen people, maybe even ourselves, have to cram and have to rush, right? Stay up late trying to finish an academic assignment when we could have done that first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we procrastinated on it. We didn't put it at the level of priority that it really required. Okay, that's all we're talking about. Hey, gang, give your studies as a student. Give your studies first priority. Do your best, okay, and then have fun. Guess what? You have guilt-free fun then. Okay, you're not worried about because when you're hanging out and you know you've got class and you've got an exam, you've got something to do, then you don't have as much fun. You're worried. So that's the point there. Okay. Secondly, have that meeting with your instructor at the beginning of each class. Do that in high school and college. Okay, same thing. All right. Next, follow the 4 agreements. Have you discussed the 4 agreements on this show, Kim?
No, we have not, but I know them well.
Okay, great. And actually, there's 5 now, but. For those of you who are scholars, want to do a little extra reading, there's an author by the name of Don Miguel Ruiz, R-U-I-Z. All right, if you Google 4 agreements or the 5th agreement, then you'll find exactly what we're talking about. And this is important for young people. It's important for life. First one is have impeccability with your word. Say what you mean what you say. And by the way, we're telling you these things because this is how you formulate the right habits in school that'll help you get good grades, help you get accepted to the college of your choice, help you get scholarships, okay, and set the stage for yourself to have to achieve your desires in life and achieve your learn your purpose and achieve your purpose. So that's where everything that she's telling you on this show and everything we're talking about in this particular segment, that's what it all points toward. So impeccability of your words, say what you mean what you say, okay? Don't take anything personally. That's a big one, isn't it, Ken? That's a hard one to learn.
Yeah, that's a big one, especially when we live in a society where everything is always someone else's fault. We don't take personal responsibility. And so we as adults don't give you good examples of taking personal responsibility, so where are you supposed to learn it? But bottom line is, and young people I tell them it's not personal. So
it really
is what it is. It's not
personal.
Even
when somebody acts out and puts a thumbtack in your chair or screws up your locker or bothers you while you're in class, that's not targeted towards you. That's that person acting out based on their reality and their experience. Okay, so what you always have to do is make, just like a non-stick pan or a pot, Teflon coating, let it roll off. Be like the falcon or like the eagle. Whenever there's foolishness going on, rise above it.
And I'm going to stop right there because I want to as we keep moving forward, I want to make sure you guys understand. At no point are we saying that this is not a challenge. At no point are we saying this is easy peasy. These things are challenging, but so are certain things in life that we want to get. And so he's giving you this roadmap so that you can get those things that you desire, be there, as he said, your college of choice, the scholarships you want, and beyond that. But, yes, these things are challenging. Yes, these things are things you have to practice, but you'll never say you didn't know about them. So we have be impeccable with your word. We have don't take anything personally. And third agreement.
That's right. Third agreement is to always do your best. Now, understand this. Your best as a young person gets better and better all the time. So what that means is, for example, if you're drowsy and you know you still need to finish studying because of whatever your deadline is, you're going to study as best you can while you're drowsy. You know that you'll be able to study better next time because you're going to get better sleep. But right now, you're going to do what you can. You're tired, but you have to keep moving. And those who continue to strive, even though they may be weary, they will only continue to be successful, and they'll reach your goal and surpass their goal. Okay? So always do your best. I'm going to give you the fifth one, and then I'm going to have to work on this other one. But be skeptical, but learn to listen.
Is that the fifth one that he?
Yeah, that's the fifth one. Well, and I'm going to give you another word for that. Use discernment.
Yes.
Okay? So you're listening, but you're always factoring in, okay, let me put this in context. How does this stand up against my intuition, against how I've been, the best of how I've been raised? You know, you always want to compare against those things. And is there another break before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, but do you want the other one is don't make assumptions.
Thank you. We're working. Hey, and that's teamwork. That's right. Don't assume it. Don't assume anything. Now, that's a tough one also because many times we are presented with situations where we've seen a certain outcome over and over again. So when we come up against that situation again, we're assuming, okay, this is going to be the outcome. That doesn't mean we don't take advantage of lessons. We definitely learn lessons, but we also are aware. We're also continue to elevate our awareness, and we're ready for new outcomes and new addendums to lessons, learning a broader reality. So anyway, I don't want to take them too far away from that, but those are other important lessons. Now, how does this all, since we got 20 minutes left, how does this all point towards preparing for college and preparing for scholarships? Okay? If you have those lessons, if you maintain that consciousness and those sorts of habits and being a conscientious student as you enter ninth grade and continuing throughout high school, now or through your junior year, you're ready. You're ready, okay? Of course, that also means looking for opportunities for community service, ways to exercise leadership, ways to volunteer to help those less fortunate. Yes, all these things. Developing yourself from an athletic attitude standpoint, from a teamwork standpoint, instruments, all the opportunities that you can take in as a young person in and outside of school. Those are so important. Now, do you know we were reviewing scholarship applications last week. And I saw a couple of resumes. First of all, I didn't know what a resume was when I was in high school. Things are changed now. But I saw resumes that were longer than mine already.
From young people.
Incoming freshmen. Yes. Incoming freshmen.
And so I want to stop right there because these are your peers. These are going to be the people you're competing against. And and people know on the show I'm not a big on competition. I believe in collaboration, but there are some things that you're going to have to go head to head with somebody with, and so this is one of those things that you have to go head to head with because there are only so many dollars that certain organizations have, and if you're telling me that freshmen are coming into high school better equipped or better resumes longer than you, so you're telling me they have curriculum vitas, so they come in with resumes longer than yours, and they're freshmen in high school. So while you're sitting up there trying to figure out how to get to class and how you're going to play with your friend in the classroom and this, that, and other, you have peers who are positioning themselves to be able to. They won't not get scholarships for lack of the experience. It'll be because of competition. It's so fierce. And so that's what Carlton is talking about. Carlton is saying and you want to put yourself in the best light. You want to put yourself in the best situation as you possibly can when it comes to this scholarship thing. Because not only, let me back up, you guys, unlike when Carlton and I were in school, I was not competing with people from India and Africa and Asia. You guys are. So not only are you competing with that freshman in your classroom, in your county, in your school system, in your state, in the United States, but you're now competing with international peers who definitely come to the United States with those skills that Carlton's talking about.
Right, and let's so from that point, let's take a look briefly at why all of these preparation attributes are so important. Let's broaden it out a little bit. At a time when technology is expanding at a more rapid pace all the time, and American companies continue to look for capable talent to bring into their firms, excellent paying jobs, and jobs that require an excellent range of education and skills, they still have to continue to look outside of the U.S. for that new talent. Why is that?
Okay, we're going to stop right there. Hold on,
okay.
We're going to stop. We're going to take a break, and we're going to answer that question, why is that? So when we come back, we're going to talk about why these companies are having to look outside the United States for support. To fill these jobs that they have, and they are good paying, well positioned positions. Hold on. Two-time love cable car.
She's locked in this love, wishing she could get out. I wanted her on the way up. Maybe catch her on the way down. She's shining like a diamond, even when things get dark. Light a spark, cut the lock and get out. She shines like a diamond, even when things get dark. You're in her sights, she found her mark. It's two-time love. You never talked to me lately, I don't wanna talk no more. Calling me baby, as I'm coming through that door. She still shines like a diamond, even when things get dark. I can't keep my hands off of you. You can't keep your eyes off of him. You only love me when you leave me, only love me when you're leaving. I'm leaving you. You're asking, is it two-time love? It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're knocking at my door. I know I got you moaning like you never felt it before. She's still shining like a diamond, even when things get dark. in this love. Maybe found a way out, yeah. I like to think that I played my part. Maybe she did it herself.
New or unknown music artists, we need you for the show. If you'd like your own mini concert, please send a request for information to realtalkforrealteens@gmail.com.
All right, we're back, and we're, as always, running out of time. But I really want to get to that last question about, and we're right on target with talking about that scholarship race is on, guys. So it starts when you walk in that class, that building, that first day of ninth grade year. And how are we going to get young people to a place where we can compete on an international level with scholarships, with being in the school of your choice or whatever?
Absolutely. Kim, the reality is this. The dropout rate in high school continues to grow, to go higher all the time, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Exactly. I mean, the data's all there. For many groups, especially for African American young people in particular, African American men most of all, but our women are in. Many of our women are in a problem situation as well. But more than a third, I think it's up to 40% now, maybe, of our young people are not graduating from high school.
Yes.
Some of those who don't graduate end up getting a GED. Okay, but you're as soon as you don't graduate, that puts you in a tremendous disadvantage to continue to advance and have a sustainable life situation. You know, and we want, Kim and I know that when we say that general term, here are two general things you hear. Children are our future, and it takes a village to raise a child. All right, so we're on this show because we see ourselves as part of the village, an active part of the village, and we're doing our part. A small part right now, but it's important. But secondly, children are our future. What you need to do as a young person is look in the mirror and understand that you are, whenever you see something wrong that you feel is wrong with society, something that's going wrong at school, wrong in your neighborhood, wrong at church, wherever, you look in the mirror and say, hey, I am the one that we've been looking for, that I've been looking for. It's me. Why not? Why not you? So, but I can say a lot of other positive things like that, but let me move towards the sophomores and juniors. Okay, you got off to a slow start. You haven't done as much as you feel you could have or should have in terms of extracurricular activities, preparing for standardized tests, that sort of thing. What do you do now? One of the first things you begin to do, you must sit down with a pen and a pad, and you have to write down everything that you can think of that you've done in your life. Okay? If you're a young person, younger, it's even more important. You must write a diary. You must have a journal, whichever one you want to call it. You need to do that. You know why? Because you don't want to put yourself in a position next fall of the fall of your senior year, and it's time to start writing down aspirational essays, right? And for college applications and for scholarships, same essays pretty much. You don't want to start thinking, okay, what have I done? What have I been doing? What do I think about this? Who is important in my life? Who did I learn from? What sort of what sort of critical events have happened in my life? That ain't the time. So start taking those notes now. Have all that content ready. Okay? You're going to write. There's only going to be 2 or 3 distinct questions that you're going to be asked on most of these essays. Have those answers ready now. Be ready to have a system. Remember I said earlier, have a system, have a process. Be ready to edit that same essay for each of these applications that you're going to be filling out. Okay? That'll help you no matter what. Okay? If you're in a situation where you haven't been getting good grades, make it your business to change that right now, right where you are. At least now you've got a compelling story to tell for admissions counselors to take a look at. Yeah, got off to a slow start. Didn't have the best guidance. Didn't have great skills when I was a freshman and sophomore. Look what I did as a junior. I've increased my scores by 50%, this, that, and the other, right? There's always a chance to turn it around. Put together a good story for yourself. And if you have mediocre grades, let's say that you have under a 3.0 with your grades, more important than ever, but you turn around and you actually score in 80th percentile in standardized tests. Now and same thing. Hey, yeah, I didn't take this seriously when I got started in high school, but I got better guidance. I understood what was involved. I got better skills.
Everybody loves the underdog. Everybody loves the underdog. Yeah.
Now that admissions counselor said, wow, I'm catching a young person who's peaking. Okay? Yeah, Stanford and the Ivy League schools are looking at this kid because he's not getting a 3.95 and has a 14 or 1500 on his SATs. But I'm watching a trend here that I say, and I'm gonna gamble that this kid is gonna continue to do well. So keep doing that for yourself. Okay. Now, what I want you to do scholarship-wise, okay. Well, Operation Push has a great scholarship every year. Please go to Operation Push's website and apply for that scholarship. Okay. Kim, the short answer to getting access to scholarships is this. Every single school that you're interested in, please pay attention to all the scholarships that are available on those schools' websites. That's going to be a great source for you. If you Google scholarships, you're going to get a lot of irrelevant results. Okay, so go to your school, and that's number one. Number two is every alumni association of all colleges and universities around the country, including Atlanta, has scholarships that they offer for students who are applying to their school. Right. So of course, like I said, I'm at Howard University. We do that. And the same thing is true for just about every other school. Find those schools and colleges, and what you've got to do is you've got to make a list of deadlines, right? Yes, you have to understand when the application has to be turned in, but even better, you want to know when what the first day is that they'll accept the application. Get in the front of that line, right? I've heard that so many times from people who have been successful. That's one of the key things, right? If there's you just mentioned money and competition. There's a stack of cash on the table. People who meet our requirements, first come, first serve. Where do you want to be, front of the line or the end of the line, right? So find out when they're accepting that. Always apply early for all of this stuff, for college, especially for college. Scholarships, yes, but you're given a little bit more latitude there because a lot of times they don't even look at the scholarship applications until the deadline. So you're okay there. But for college, you better apply early. Do not miss the early application period. That's sending a message to that school that you are serious about your education, about your chances for admission, and you're serious about attending that school. They look at those sorts of behaviors, and they benefit. I also want to leave, Kim, if it's all right with you, I want to give people my email address, because I've got about 500 or so scholarships with all sorts of criteria for for eligibility in different, whether it's in sciences, in law, journalism, etc.
I'm going to stop you right there because we're almost done. Are you sure you want all these people emailing you, or do you want to give me that information and I can put it on something?
All right. I'll take your recommendation. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you get in touch with this show and you say, hey, I want those scholarships that Carlton Lockard was talking about, you'll get them. All right, you'll get a big fat list.
Them. I'll put them.
And make it your job.
Yes, exactly. And that's it. Make it your job. So
make
that's how.
Hey, young people, remember there are now it costs upwards between $150,000 to $200,000 for a 4-year college education now. Okay, so this ain't no joke. But the only thing that meets that escalating cost is the fact that scholarships have increased as well. Okay, so those are there for you, but you got to make it your job to apply for. What else can you do as a teenager legally to earn more than $100,000 for yourself? That's apply for scholarships.
And on that note, we'll end it because that was powerful. Because that is major. Your parents, a lot of parents aren't making that, so you can bring in that and pay for everything. So on that note, Carlton, I would like to thank you so much. This has been an information-filled show. I will make sure to include. You guys need to follow us on Twitter and Facebook because this is where this information is going to be. It's going to be also on the website. So make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and we will make sure you guys have access to those scholarships. So thank you, Carlton, very much.
Oh, thanks for having me, and please have me again because I'm going to have some more information available that I'm picking up now over the course of the summer. We're going to be talking about this all school year. I want to have this as a series because, as you said, this stuff is timeless, and so I want to be able to say, hey, direct people, hey, go listen to that one, and go listen to this one, and go listen to that one. So we will have you back soon. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Well, Kim, to you and your listeners, we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank God for you.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, we're going to end with Cable Car's last song, You're Killing Me. And you have a wonderful evening, and be back here next week.
So I've been thinking, honestly, what's a heartbeat? Is it the sound of my voice as an echo down the hallway at the shape of you as you turn back? Could you even answer that? Don't wait too long, it'll be too late. You're killing me, baby. What am I supposed to say? You're killing me, baby. You don't want me, love nobody else. You just want me to keep me for yourself. And I ain't got the time to wait. Playing these games, no lie. Let me and don't wait too long, it'll be too late. You're killing me, baby. What am I supposed to say? You're killing me, baby. You don't want me, love nobody else. You just want me
Thank you for listening, and please join us each and every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern for more Real Talk for Real Teens.